Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and today's video might be the most helpful video I've ever produced as far as putting something together, making something. I'm going to bank it in two parts. I'm going to share the file and talk a little bit about how I did it, and then I'm actually going to make another video, so it'll be part two later on in the day on how to assemble this. This is, if you haven't been following, this is a business card holder that'll hold business cards. And the only problem with before, the business cards would just fall out. So I started out with a latch called a spring latch, and it was just all wood. And keep in mind, in case you haven't watched the other video, when you cut these two pieces out, the bottom and the top, doesn't matter what direction the grain is going, but this is pretty important if your grain's going sideways or left or right, so the grains are coming through here. Because if your grains are coming this way, this piece could break off, and once it glued together, couldn't do anything about it. Well, the bad thing about it, it only worked for several days before the spring actually lost its spring. So I tried to incorporate, and I did a lot of research in this, a lot of work, and I brought in springs from different companies and two different kinds from Amazon, and they were too strong or too big. And the first one I even did was actually a click pen, like a ballpoint pen spring, and can't really find them. I mean, you can find them for 10 cents a piece, but it costs several dollars to get them shipped here, or I think it was $8 to get $2 worth of stuff shipped. So for some reason, I just thought about a safety pin. And this is a spring out of a safety pin. And because I started thinking about it, I needed something that would spring back. Well, a safety pin is always closed when it's not used, but when you let go, it still has spring. So this thing should last forever. So I incorporated a spring into the business card holder that'll constantly hold pressure. It should never lose pressure once you glue it all together. So and it would have worked if I would have just inset the spring in there, and then I thought I need something to keep this in the center of the wood. So I've got a zoomed in version here. I found some glass beads at Hobby Lobby, and I actually found the safety pin at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to share the item numbers with you. And this glass bead just kind of locks it in place. But this glass bead is probably more important, because you could glue that piece of the deal in. You cannot glue this part to this wood because it needs to move. And as you can see, part of the safety pin is actually sticking out. So when you close it, it sticks out further. And then when it's not holding the business card, it kind of retracts in. So this is a very important piece. You could probably get away without this piece, but I was afraid at some point the safety pin might get off to one side or the other, and even though you're going to close this up, it should never happen, but it could wear into the wood or bite. This way it won't ever bite in the wood. So here's the safety pin that I used. It measures like 1 1/16 of an inch. This is a little confusing part. They only sell these in a assorted, and they come with different sizes in there. They're only $2.99, and the day I actually bought it, everything in that department was 50% off. So these were only $1.50. It came with 50 pins, and probably about 30 of them were the size I needed, which is good. So there's the item number, 30, and this is going to be on this file, so you don't have to write this down when you open the file. 305672. It's in the sewing department. The glass beads, or I guess in the craft department, and it's 872374, and it's a glass bead, and this is what the bead looks like, and it just fits through there. It's got a hole already drilled through it or made through it. So anyway, and you cut this with some wire cutters, to get this piece. And this is how I drew this, just to give you a little insight. I measured it and brought it in and scaled the picture to a ruler, and then I just drew a hairline. As you can see, you know, for the video, I didn't get it perfectly dead on. I was going to try this at first, and it doesn't really help. But so the second video will be about how to put the glass beads on there and how to glue them in place. But what I did, I just engraved this area to recess, so this doesn't go all the way through, and then I cut out this little box. So on the file that I'm going to share in Epilogue's Facebook page, and it's already there, I'll just take you over there real quick. Go to Epilogue's Facebook page, and there it is, business card holder locking plus all. I didn't rename it. I had some other files on there. S for safety pin. I saved it in X3 for more people to use it. So I just put it on there 30 seconds ago. So feel free to use that. Now let's go back to the drawing. So all these pictures and numbers are going to be on the file. And just a little reference, this little thing right here is the shape of a business card that I kind of just played around with to make sure everything fit. But this is your top and your bottom, or vice versa, and I've got another video out there how to decorate them, or just leave them solid and engrave on them. But this is the engrave part. I ran it, my laser is a 60 watt. I ran this at 25 speed, 100 power. And it ate out all the wood. It didn't hurt with the integrity of the wood. It's just as strong. And then it came back and actually cut this out for the glass bead. Now I did not cut anything out here because I wanted this as slender as I could make it, but I just glued the glass bead to the top. And the other video I'm going to make this afternoon is going to show how to do this. This should be, I'm going to call it the cat's meow. This should work, or it does work. Those business cards right there are being held in, and they don't fall out, and they don't even have the top on yet. But the spring should last forever. Should never have any problem. So stay tuned for the other video. Feel free to use the file. Use any kind of wood. You know, make it as decorative as you want. It might be a little difficult to rescale this, but if you want a different shape, you can just incorporate this size, this interior walls, into a different shape. And the lids and boxes are the exact size, so you can take them and decorate them and play around with them, and these are a lot of fun. They don't cost hardly anything to make. I mean, like I said, I got these for $1.50 because they were 50% off, and most of you should know Hobby Lobby always has a 40% coupon. These were $2.99, and I got them for 40% off. So even if they don't have a sale on these, you could, you know, make 2 trips and go get them both. They'll only let you use 1 coupon at a time, which is understandable. And if you do not have a Hobby Lobby in your area, I live near Austin, Texas, and we have at least 6 Hobby Lobbies. So if you don't have one in your area, you're out somewhere in Montana, Dave, you can order them online. So there's your part numbers. And anyway, hope that helped a little bit. Stay tuned for the second video later today, and thank you for watching.